Guys, we're going to dive into the, essentially change. There is not anyone on here who is not modifying their business right now. There is none of us on this call who are not making changes right now. All right, Ben, let's rock and roll. When asked, what would you have done different if you knew today was coming? The number one answer is simply this. I wish I would have started putting the things I already knew I should have put in place in order last year. Think about that. I wish I would have done what I already know I should. We as humans tend to have that as a natural kind of status quo positioning. When the reality is, my business coach would tell me every single day, if I could only get you to do what you already know you should, you would consider me a genius. And therefore I implement what I already know that I should, so that I can give him the clout and the recognition that he needs. He is a genius. You guys, on this call, everyone on here has somewhat of an idea of what they need to do. However, those who participated and those who are dedicated to education, those who showed up on this session, I am so proud of you, because people only change two ways: consistency and repetition, and a significant emotional event, a tail whooping. Those of you on this call, those of you that committed to training, those of you that attended workshops, those of you that sat through classes, those of you that already implemented the e-commerce elements, the virtual sales elements, the online chatbots, the online scheduling, content strategies, SEO strategies, social media strategies, local directory strategies, those of you that have been working on this for a very long time, you are learning and have learned through consistency and repetition. And there are some just showing up right now that are going to learn because of a significant emotional event, and that's the current situation we're in. That being said, the logic and the disciplines change. Ben reminded me that in 1990 I can't remember, 98, that the Yellow Pages, which I grew up in a household of nerds, so I wasn't a big Yellow Pages fan, but he was saying that the advertisers would essentially, you could determine the size of a company based on the size of the ad in the Yellow Pages. The bigger the ad, the bigger the company. Chicken or the egg. In today's environment, I can take any company and I can do a quick search, typing in the word site, yourwebsite.com, and I'm gonna get a directory listing of how many pages you have on your website. And I can pinpoint what size of company you are within around $100,000 to $500,000, $100,000 to $500,000. The size of your business in today's environment is connected to the total number of assets you have in your website, how well they're labeled, how many people are looking for them, and how popular they are. So for you to progress, if I pull up a site and they've got 1,500 pages in it, well optimized, well labeled, very popular, shared frequently, traveled frequently, they're probably doing 10 million plus in annual sales or significantly more. If I pull up a website and they have 25 pages inside Google's directory, if your pages are the products in your store and your website is the store and you only have 25 in there, I know you're doing less than $500,000 in business, unless you have some commercial products offside or commercial agreements offside. Size matters in this environment. And if we don't take the time to connect and make these changes, if we don't continue to add, wherever we currently are, whatever we currently have is a result of how we currently think and what we currently do. Therefore, those results will stay the same. Everyone in here gave you a new page for your website, a new asset. When Tom was talking about maintenance agreements, right now is the time you go back to your web page and you make the maintenance page on your website sing. That thing needs to be amazing. It needs to outline what's included. It needs to be wham, bam, amazing. What Matt was talking about, Mr. Plugoff, your brand voice cannot stay the same. If you built a website a year ago, 2 years ago, 6 months ago, or 3 days ago, and you filled out a form and you said, we have 25 years in service, we're family owned and operate, and we provide great service. Congratulations. Tastes like chicken. What Matt is saying is I gotta hear your soul. I gotta see something new. If you haven't implemented things that make sense right now in today's environment, if they're not connecting with today's consumer, if it doesn't pull on those heartstrings, who cares what the site looks like? The content inside of it, the way the design is, if you don't have a brand voice or a brand strategy, I don't know how you connect with people. There's two different elements to this. You have a technical element, designers, developers, engineers, SEO agents, people that do digital marketing and build websites. They're coders, they're designers. They went to school for Photoshop and HTML and PHP, and literally they're nerds. What Matthew Plugoff was talking about is the tone, the voice, the brand. It's you, it's pulling that out. Those are different humans that help with that. Call him, get help. Make a change so your website doesn't taste like chicken. Call Tom if you don't know what should be on your maintenance page. Call Tom right now, text him and say, hey, I need help. I have a website. You go to my maintenance page. It has a form. It says sign up for maintenance. Doesn't say anything about what's included. Doesn't say why. Doesn't say how much. Doesn't allow him to sign up. Doesn't allow him to pay online. Call him. He'll help you construct it, and let's get it on the site. Right now, if you have an apply for financing page on your website, and all it has is interbanks or any of the banks, just basic template, it doesn't have any kind of logic or value or human connection, call Matt, and let's amp it up. Let's make it sing. Let's make it speak to the person who that's important to. If you're not sure how to price, right? If you don't have enough volume, high enough demand to warrant a higher price tag, let's work on increasing your demand, call David, and then let's work on increasing those prices, because you can. Those who have too much business can modify their pricing. And if you're not sure how your team is currently answering the calls, trust me, my team calls your teams all the time. And we have a panic attack when someone answers all around. And we're not sure if we even called the right company and they're our clients. We need to work on that. From day one, call Brigham and get set up with that. So let's go to the next one. Every single problem has a solution that requires action. So the logic behind this, and this is proactive and reactive. If you're reactive, then you're gonna say the same problem exists all the time and be mad about what you're not doing that's causing you to have the same problem that you have all the time. Or we can be proactive. I need traffic. If that's you, if your mind says, I have no traffic to my website, I have no eyeballs looking at me, there's no one who can see me, I'm not at events anymore. You need to launch a website. You need to carve off a budget for monthly content and SEO, search engine optimization. You need to leverage your network on Facebook, and you're gonna need to pick up the phone and start outbound calls. That's what you need to do right now. Need traffic? Launch website, get content, SEO, use your Facebook network, and start making outbound calls. And I know Brigham has scripts for that. Next, have traffic, needs leads. You need to start working on those interior pages on your website. When someone builds a website, they build a gorgeous front page and then a bunch of stuff in the middle. Every interior page as it shows up on page 1 of Google. So when your SEO works and it starts showing up on page 1, the page needs to improve. Add more content, integrate more SEO data into it, connect your social media listings, offer more promotions, offer financing, showcase call to actions, all of those things that are necessary right now. As Ben talked about in the very beginning, those consumers who have something that's broken or not working, they're doing a search. You either show up or you don't. If you need more bookings, put in the systems to do it. If you need more closings, call Brigham, get set up with training, get your virtual presentations in place, and so forth. And if you need staff to better service, price, and quote, obviously there's solutions for that. The bottom line is action breeds activity. You got to take it.